he's fragile. That makes him unreliable. And when you know that that is your situation, the one thing that we have to pay attention to is just simply asking the question, because I don't know the answer to this question. You and I both know what we hear. But the question that you have to ask is, and that's not bringing the legitimacy of his injuries into question at all. But you do have to ask, do you maximize everything that you bring to the table from the standpoint of you being in peak condition and ready to go? There are people in the NBA that have repeatedly looked at Anthony Davis, and not just his injuries, they've asked, is he in shape? Is he ready to go? Does he understand who he's playing with and how ready he needs to be in order for these Lakers to be relevant? And on far too many occasions, that question has repeatedly been asked. I don't definitively know the answer to it. Sometimes I look at him and I question his conditioning, KP. Other times I look at him and I say, well, he's gotten bigger, and he needed to, because obviously you got people in the league who felt they could push him around and that just get physical with him and he'd crumble. And that was a stigma he was trying to erase. So he might have just gotten bulky and he might not be as out of shape as people have accused him of. But it has been an accusation and an allegation that's been thrown in his direction. And because of that, combined with the way LeBron James looks, 37 years of age, 19th year in the league, averaging 29 points a game when he's a career 27 point per game scorer. I mean, the other night, he just went into his bag and took over in the fourth quarter. Couldn't say enough about it. The fact that he can't rely on Anthony Davis for whatever reason is an indictment against Anthony Davis.
You know what, Stephen A? I was going to come on here and I was going to point the finger at a certain player. And then I had to think about it. I'm going to point the finger at Rob Pelinka. That's who's going to look the worst. That's who's going to look the worst. One is because first he allowed, instead of doing his job and manning the hell up, he allowed the players, meaning AD and LeBron James, to dictate this roster in the first place. Okay, and then here comes the trade deadline. And you make no moves at all. No. You stand still and tell the world we're just going to wait for the buyout market. It's no damn buyout market. All the groceries are gone. So at the end of the day, I'm blaming Rob Pelinka, because then you go and you tell the world that, we sat down and we talked. I talked with the players and we all decided not to make moves. That's a damn lie. That didn't happen. So I blame Rob Pelinka for not saying, hey, no, LeBron, Anthony Davis, I got this. Let me get this together. Because the fact of the matter is, they took Caruso for granted. They took Caldwell Pope for granted. They took Kyle Kuzma for granted. And they listened to what LeBron James and Anthony Davis had to say. So as bad as I want to come on here and say Russell Westbrook need to play better, and you're right about Anthony Davis, he hasn't got his body in physical shape, which I don't have no clue why not, when you have LeBron James and Dwight Howard in your locker room.
That's right.
So I'm going to put the blame on Rob Pelinka.
White House
in
shape.
He stays in shape. And
he stays in shape. You know, he brags about his flatboard stomach all the damn time. Yes, I'm jealous. The point that I'm trying to make is this, okay? I think I can trump you, since you want to go beyond the players, KP. I think I can trump you on the Rob Pelinka thing. And the person I can blame is the wonderful Jeannie Buss. And guess why I can blame Jeannie Buss, if you want to go there. Who allowed Rob Pelinka and other people in business affairs, along with Linda and Kurt Rambis, to get in the way of Irvin Magic Johnson, annoying him so much that he said, "To hell with this, I'm out," a couple of years ago, which left them to the mercy of the Rob Pelinkas and the Rambises of the world? That would be Jeannie Buss. She's the board of governor. She's the one in control. And I love Jeannie. But the point is that one could easily make the argument that the person, as it strictly pertains to basketball operations, you should have stood side by side with Irvin Magic. I know she loves him. I know she loves him to death. She still communicates with him. He certainly loves her to death. No question about it. But what I mean with that statement about Jeannie Buss is you should have done everything in your power to make sure that nobody interfered with basketball operations. No, whatever Magic wanted, strictly as it pertained to basketball operations, you should have left him alone. Nobody had any business interfering with him. Because guess what? With what KP just said, with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, you could come to Magic with suggestions as to what needs to be done.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to tell Magic Johnson what to do because they trust that Magic Johnson knows what to do. And Magic Johnson, all right, got LeBron. LeBron was coming in anyway, but he got LeBron. And then after that, okay, he facilitated AD getting there. And then if y'all remember, he had Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi was coming to the Lakers, not the Clippers. He's coming to the Lakers if Magic Johnson was still there. But that didn't end up happening. And I'm not saying you necessarily needed Kawhi Leonard. I'm simply saying when you talk about a roster, when you talk about a roster, you don't allow a rambus of any name. Kurt, Linda, I don't give a damn what other name you could come up with. If they're a rambus, you can't allow them to supersede Magic Johnson. You can't allow Rob Pelinka, a former agent, to supersede Magic Johnson in any way. Magic Johnson, I'm telling you what I know, departed because people got in his way and annoyed him. And when you are Irvin Magic Johnson, you don't need to be annoyed. You don't have to tolerate that.
Yeah.
Well, Molly, Stephen A., can I say this? Can I say this? Can we flat out be done with the Lakers talking about them? Let me tell you why. Their season is over with, okay?
Are you sure,
it's more than 40.
I don't know. I'm not ready to say over, but you know a lot more than I do.
Molly, the season is over with, okay? Their season is over with. Let me tell you why. They had one expectation and one expectation only, and that was to win the championship. They're not going to do that. They're going to probably get into the play-in tournament, get into the 8th or 7th seed, and get bounced by the Suns or the Golden State Warriors. And
what we're saying is, I think they get to the playoffs and they're going home in the first round. But I don't think they're finished, meaning they're going to miss the playoffs. And here's the answer to your question. And here's the answer to your question. You know why we can't be finished talking about the Lakers? Because if we're being respectful, do we just summarily dismiss LeBron James? I mean, come on, man. The brother is 37 years old in his 19th year and averaging 29. He deserves to be talked about.
We got to move on, but real quick, you weren't here yesterday, but did you guys see Jay Will brought this up, that LeBron, I know we're getting a little petty here, though, but he liked how Les Snead, do you see the post? Les Snead had a Les Snead t-shirt on, and he said, F them picks. Basically, they went all in. They won the title. LeBron retweeted it, said, that's my kind of GM, and Jay was arguing that was shade at Rob Pelinka.
I don't know.
It probably was.
I mean, maybe it was. Who knows who knows with Jay Williams? He's a very cerebral individual, very intellectual individual. I mean, he could have meant anything with what the hell he's saying.
I'm talking about when LeBron retweeted it, not Jay Williams.
There's a method to Jay Williams.
Oh, my.
Who knows what the hell he meant and why he brought that up. It could be anything.